Look at that antenna.
This antenna right
here. Yeah, what is this?
This is an NVIS antenna that does 1.6 to 30 megahertz.
So it's supposed to mount that way?
Yes. It does 1.6 to 30 megahertz. I've spoken around the world on it. Literally while I'm driving.
Really?
Yeah.
So why is there 2 feed? 4?
Well,
how many feed
control,
points? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then is there a screwdriver in it or something?
Well, it's a voice coil. So
it's like, yeah. That's cool. All right, I haven't seen one of those before.
Come on and just close the door when you come in.
Okay.
Have air conditioning.
Ah.
We got one of the big things about what we do is you see everything's out in the open the way it is right now. The idea is that we can quickly change things out.
Right, exactly. And you have redundancy.
Yeah.
And you got a Dyson vacuum. That's really important, actually. The dust and clean,
yeah.
You'll trample everything up.
I mean, look at this. We cleaned this just before the show.
Yeah.
Wow. Every one of these radios has an IP address.
Okay.
All right. This is a marine radio. We're considered a Class B marine base station. This is an aviation radio that we can use for air control or communication based on what the needs are at the time. We have several P25 ICOM radios. We have a couple amateur radios. This is our HF stack. We've got a 7100, which I've got mounted in the front.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Right there. Yep.
Yep. Oh, hey, that's a really good. So you got to kind of pivot it down.
Yes.
Nice.
All the data and all that we can connect at any time. Then we have an line mobile HF radio, which we use for shares and other things. We have a space for. I have a
tuner.
I have a radio that I can't take out of the state unless I'm doing a job for whatever reason. So that generally goes there.
Okay. It's filled.
Yeah.
It's good background B-roll song. Oh, you got all the nice.
Yeah.
Look at that's smart.
This is a shot.
Yeah, no, seriously, no joke.
So when we roll on it in an emergency or whatever,
yeah,
we can repair.
Is it okay if I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's just some radios.
Yeah,
there.
batteries.
Yeah.
Redundant batteries. Nice little tool holders. Trays. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And typically this is what we'll carry with us, and when you start looking up these parts, you'll understand why I don't like opening that one up too much. P25 radios on Motorola APX. I've got a spot here for Harris. These are IP-based radios because
interesting.
all of these
they Wi-Fi connect. Because that's what you said. They're IP-based.
Right.
Smart.
So all goes into the PGP3, which is an ICOM product.
Very smart.
That connects up to a phone gateway. So we're using a gateway to do our patching.
Ah.
So I can literally create what's called call groups. If you have an IP-based phone, I can forward as long as we're connected to the internet.
Yeah. Can I just turn it down a little bit? There you go. Perfect.
I can do IP. In other words, if you have an IP-based phone, I can forward. Give you an authorization code. Forward whatever your group or talk group or whatever you're authorized for. All you need is the code, and then you need the channels.
Yep.
And then once you have the channels, you can switch between a specific radio or a group of radios.
Yep.
So, for instance, if we have an incident commander who needs to talk to everybody, either on one of those or on one of these, all he has to do is change to the right talk group, and he can talk to everybody.
Right. So you're basically you're the emergency event center, right? You just a mobile
we roll
command
up,
center.
And typically we also have a 20 kilowatt generator that we bring with us.
Oh.
So we got power for it.
Yeah.
Our duration is designed duration is 7 days unsupported.
Really?
Providing when we go to where we're supposed to go, that we filled up all our tanks, because this has a 600-mile range. Generator has something like 50 gallons in it, plus another 16. Plus we got cans, so we can run 7 days unsupported.
Wow.
And we have a crew of 3 that literally we rotate throughout.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not
awesome.
it's not ICOM. It's also Harris and Motorola and.
Sure, and that's probably for interoperability with either.
And then we've got this whole section over here set up to where if we have an agency that has their own specific radios and they don't want to give up the ghost on things, we can just plug their radio in. We've got as long as I have a digital interface that I can work with, that'll give me you know, channels, let me select channels, push to talk, and audio. That's all I need.
So Harris is what, for like National Guard, working with them, and
it could be that,
or the police, Motorola. Yeah, sure.
And
so I like this upper shelf. This is really well thought out. You designed this?
Well, this was Mike Lee's original design.
Okay.
Which was one of the people who originally financed all this. We have a full P25 repeater.
Oh wow, yeah, you got the
VHF repeater system.
You got some
currently this isn't ours, but just to show our ability to work with other agencies, this is running a P25 and it's also running a DMR UHF repeater.
Wow, that's awesome.
Typically, we'll also have like 4 of these UHF repeater systems that, as we're doing things, sometimes as we deploy, we want to create what we call a string of pearls.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll set up a repeater here, and then we'll drive so many miles, set up another repeater, keep on going. So that way we can have...
You're increasing your footprint.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That's very well thought out. Yeah,
it's a mess right now because this is a working vehicle. So.
No, yeah, I understand. But everything, the design of the shelving, I like this upper shelving so that you can have everything mounted. Right. It's all really well thought out. Who did this truly knows what they're doing. That
was Michael and myself, and Phil was another person that was involved in this as well.
That's awesome.
Quite literally, we are literally operational while we're driving.
Yeah.
So what's nice is even with the HF, which is connected to this radio right here.
Right.
We can go digital. We can go, analog, whatever. I can remote the head up to the front.
Right.
Take the 7100 out and put it back here, so that way I have access to whatever device I want to use.
So when you're working up there, you still have all the functionality, basically.
Yes.
Plus we have just you and one other person.
Right. Typically, I'm not operating radios when I'm driving.
Sure.
Okay. So we have basically what we call the co-pilot or the hot seat. And that person has the laptop, which is linked back to the radios back here for running any digital modes and stuff like that. On the amateur side, it's kind of fun. You can be running FT8 while we're running.
Yeah, why not?
And it's like the people we talk to along the way, not really talk to, but the QSOs that we generate are absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I bet. And then you can just you can either just get up and move to the back, which gives you more because you got like 3 different stations set up here.
Right. Well, this one is actually for just miscellaneous stuff. This is for, I can program any radio in this van. And this is also for our, it's an APERS, ADIS, and a couple other things back there that we program so that as we're driving, we can go from either APERS or we can go to another ID type system that whatever agency wants to track us can track us.
Are you doing Windlink in here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, is it this guy?
Right here, yeah.
Nice. Because I'm getting people messaging me, hey, different ARES groups, emergency preparedness groups. How do we set up Windlink? How do we do that? What do you recommend? It's like, well, it's really not that hard now.
The biggest recommendation
is an NVIS.
Just go to the Windlink page. They have some really good directions on how to set it up. If you're talking within the state, it's one type of communication. If you're talking about going somewhere else, like out of the, almost to the edge of the continent, that's a different setup.
Localized emergencies, though, you almost want to be NVIS.
And that's the reason for the antenna on the front of the vehicle. Which makes perfect sense, While I'm in a state or I'm in a theater, I've got probably about 300 miles easy on, let's say, the equivalent of 40 meters or whatever the agency is that we're working with.
Awesome.
And we also can pipeline our telemetry information to them from a different place. We're working on some sensors packages that we're going to be putting on the van itself, like magnetometers. The idea is that
why not, right? If you can pack it into APRS.
We're talking magnetometers. We're talking. We want to be able to watch. Let's just say that we're going to look at monitoring radiation and different types of radiation as well. So, if we're working in an area, it's kind of nice to know what the gravity of everything is.
Sure.
That's the other reason. That's what's kind of a joke.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. When you have the capability to do it, why not load the sensors up?
Well, and what will happen is when we're in, let's say, in a location, we can streamline all that data back to whatever agency they want. We do have a satellite phone system, and we have a satellite uplink capability. It's not on the van right now,
right?
But it costs so much to run.
But you could.
So let's say someone in Washington with our uplink, when we check in, they'll have all our data for the day, and so they can see, you know, what it was like, where we were, you know, you know, what were we getting hit with, if it's a, let's say it's a hazmat type situation, which we don't get involved in too much. Yeah. Because our whole job is to basically be the tip of the spear, to be in an to basically, we can deploy in hours. Okay. We're close to like Scott Air Force Base, so if they say, hey, we need you here, you know, come, you know, check in at this location. We can load up on a C-130 or a C-5A.
Oh, sure.
Diesel, it's a Mercedes frame. I get 26 miles to the gallon.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's
and that's
crazy.
even with the tower. I mean, that's even with the
all the weight that you're pulling with that generator and 26 miles.
Yes.
Is it diesel?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's
I was
a
gonna
Mercedes
say.
diesel.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's the only way we could get on a plane.
It's diesel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Wow. Well, Emmett, why don't you? Is there like a website people can go to learn more about? You can go to like a list.
You can go to RadioWavz.com.
Perfect.
Give us a contact. Email us. EMCOMM-1 is not necessarily a website. It's generally it's how do I say it? We don't do a whole lot to explain who we are, mainly because of some of the work that we do.
Right.
So, but if you want to know more, we can help you out with that.
I think people would just kind of like to see your laundry list of items, right? That you have deployed. They would just love that because you're doing it. So
the one thing you don't see here is generally right here on these two shelves are tie downs for our drones. We have the ability to fly search patterns. If we need to do a survey, we can do surveys. For instance, we're from Missouri, so we flew a couple missions along the Missouri River and the Mississippi River to basically inspect levees and so on. Yeah. One of our drone systems also has a FLIR system built into it, so we can find heat in areas.
Oh, what drones are you running?
I can run up to 2 at a time.
No, what brand?
Oh, I use the Phantom 4.
The Phantom 4. Yeah. Phantom 4 has a FLIR?
Yes.
You swapped it out?
It through FLIR, and then it's a secondary gimbal that goes right underneath the main gimbal, so they track.
Oh, it's like it attaches to the landing gears.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a dual gimbal type situation where they're both tied together.
Do you have to replace the camera mechanism from the Phantom 4?
The original camera's there, but there's a mount that mounts underneath it.
Wow.
So it's a little bit of work, but
that's very cool.
The nice thing about it is, let's say we're looking for a child lost in the woods.
Yeah, heat signature.
Yeah, we're looking for the heat signatures, or let's say someone broke out of the jail. You know.
All right, I think that's our cue. Yeah. It's hot. Turn that air on.